Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over. Welcome back to episode 36 of the Burg Boys podcast. My name is Mike Lennon. I'm with Jeremy Greenwood, Matt Lennon, and Chris Ross. Fellas, how are you?
What's up, Mike? It's nice to be back.
It is. What is that? I think almost exactly a month, if I remember looking correctly.
So we started this, I think it was November, maybe. I'd have to look back on like our episodes or whatever. But yeah, this is episode 36. This is by far the longest we've gone without doing a podcast. So the boys are rejuvenated a little bit here. Football season, you can smell it in the air right now. We're getting kind of full swing into it right now. But I'll go around here. I want to get to our young man that we have out in Colorado right now. Chris, how's everything going?
Yeah, it's going good. It's been crazy. We've been in school now for over a month. Football's been going on for over a month. We're into week 3 of our regular season. We actually have a game tomorrow night opposed to Friday because it's goofy out here. Each district has a district stadium, and so all the teams within that district have to share that stadium. And so obviously we all can't play on Friday night. So that means every once in a while you get Thursday games, every once in a while you get Saturday games. So we got a Thursday game tomorrow. We're 1-1. We had a really good week 1 win against our rival, and then last week kind of took a step backwards. But I think it was a good thing for our program, as bad as that sounds, because I think it kind of brought us back down to earth a little bit, and the boys are kind of rejuvenated and looking back to getting after it again this week. So I think it's ultimately going to be a good thing, I think, for our players in this season. But it's been wild. I mean, it's been my first class of the day actually starts at 7 a.m. So I've been lifting I get up at 4:30. I get to the gym at about 5. I lift to about 6:05, 6:10. Shower, get to school. First class is at 7. I go until 3:10. Football from 3:30 to 6. Get home, and then I got a wild man who's excited to see me, so I'm jumping on the trampoline or playing soccer or doing something in the backyard. And by the time he goes to bed, I think I'm ready to go to bed as well. But I usually stay up for a little bit to just have a little downtime, and then just wake up and do the same thing over again. So it's been a long season. It's exciting stuff. It's not like I'm dreading any of that stuff. It's exciting stuff. It just makes for a long week and long days. But and then on top of it, our district just reinforced mandatory masks. So that's a new wrinkle. Not that it really affects me personally, but now I feel like a police officer because I'm having to, enforce people wearing masks. And now it's not just teaching. It's not just building relationships. It's not just getting to know the kids. It's not just giving them important information that they can use the rest of their life. Now it's, hey, cover up your face. It's not a chin diaper. Like, let's go. So like that part's a little frustrating, but hopefully
I like that.
Yeah, hopefully we get through this, this little spike and get back to some normalcy again. But it's been busy. It's been very busy, but it's been good.
Before we get to one of the other guys here, can we obviously have quite a few people that tune in live, so they're watching the live video of it, but we have quite a few people that listen to our podcast as well. But could you tell all of our followers, fans, just what's kind of going on with what you got right here, or what's going on there?
So this is actually fresh as of today. So I was rocking the scruffy beard for a while, just kind of just didn't really care. I don't like the neck stuff, so I always trim that up. But I was just kind of letting her go and just kind of had a nice little, I don't know. I mean, it wasn't nice. I shouldn't say nice, but I had a little beard going. And then they instituted masks this week. And now the sides of my cheeks just itch with that mask on. And I couldn't do it anymore. So I shaved it off. And Alexis said no to the mustache. So I couldn't rock the muzzy. Because that was option 1 was going to be the handlebars. Then I was like, option 2 was clean shaven, and she said I couldn't do that either because I look like a little boy. So I went with the with the sheriff look, as I call it, because I feel like every sheriff out here in Colorado has a goatee. So I'm just rocking the goatee a little bit. And at school, none of the kids notice because I have a mask on all day. So it's just the football team because we don't have to wear them outside. We only have to wear them indoors. So it's the students don't recognize it or know, but the football team does. So they gave me a hard time today a little bit, but
I'm glad they did that.
Oh yeah, they nothing gets by those kids. I'll tell you that. So it's just trying to mix it up a little bit. I'm not a fan of it, I don't think, but we're gonna roll with it for a while here. Especially coming off a loss last week, you got to mix it up.
Good. Matt Lennon, out of La Crosse, Wisconsin. How is everything going?
It's going good. Not a whole lot of news out of here, but just a couple things for me personally. Right after.
Oh, I hear it.
I don't think that was me.
No, that was mine.
You.
That was mine.
That wasn't me.
Okay.
That was mine.
I was gonna say. Speaking of that, our first big news is we ended up getting a puppy. We got him last Friday. So it's been a interesting couple, I guess, almost a week now. Late nights, early mornings, but I'm used to that. A lot of accidents happening right now, so just trying to figure that whole lifestyle out. But his name is Milo. He is a Labradoodle, little guy. I think he only gets to about 30 pounds. Right now, he's actually super chill, so I hope that never changes, but I'm sure it will. And really, the only other thing is, for me at least, we're trying to plan our honeymoon, second week in November. But right now, you need a negative test to come back from Mexico. So
to come back?
Yeah, to come back, you need a negative. You don't need anything to go, but you need one to come back. Yeah, so we don't really know if we're going to try to risk it or, we might just go to Florida or, somewhere warm probably. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We probably should decide that pretty quick here, but that's all up here. What about you?
How's married life going? We're about a little over a month in now.
Everyone's asked me that, and I don't think anything's really changed. So
it will.
Yeah,
we should ask Sarah. We should ask Sarah the same thing to see.
I think it'd be the same.
They're still in the honeymoon phase, Mike. They're still in the honeymoon phase.
We'll see. See what this dog does to us.
Well, Jeremy Greenwood, our lone soldier from Reedsburg, currently residing, rocking some Burg Boys apparel as well. But kind of a interesting past couple of weeks for yourself here. How's everything going?
Certainly a chain of events I didn't expect to happen kind of took place. I'm doing okay today. Actually, I don't know. I had I had a heart attack. All right. And I don't know. It's been a journey just in the sense of trying to figure out what my life is now. I was actually in cardiac rehab this morning. Youngest person there by 30 years. And they're all making fun of me that what are you doing here and things like that. But other than that, the support's been great. People reaching out, caring. I had a GoFundMe for me that was, really uncomfortable for me. Talking about this is uncomfortable for me. Just naming it as it is. But other than that, I'm kind of getting my feet back under me, I guess you could say. Once I get graduate cardiac rehab, I guess I gotta get in the gym more, eat better, so things like that. But actually, what I was gonna tell you guys too, and we'll just kind of move on from that just slyly here. I started my internship Friday. I don't know if I did tell you guys this.
I think you did.
You did?
Yeah, I started my internship Friday, working in the schools.
You did. Yeah, you did.
Shadowing school counseling. I absolutely loved it. And this is just elementary. And I guess what's different for me versus what I do now is I'm around people. I get to, and kids are funny and cute, all that stuff. And I told you guys that story about the baseball, the guy that recognized me from the Pirates, but anyway, yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I don't have much else for you, I guess.
Well, and I would just like to piggyback. We're happy you're doing well, Jeremy. I think it was good just to see just a lot of people come together for you, and just goes to show like how many, I guess, people that you've maybe touched in your life, and it was just awesome to see. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents in there as well. But
I appreciate you guys, and like I said, I appreciate everybody that's reached out to me, truly. Let's not forget about you though, Mike. How you doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good, Jeremy. We're getting back into the swing of things. Hockey season is right around the corner. So all of our guys actually got to campus probably 2 or 3 weeks ago now. So we actually our guys started their like workouts, preseason workout stuff with our strength and conditioning coach here on campus. And then like I've mentioned a few times on here, I also work at the Schwamigan Bay Golf Club here in Ashland. But we had our it was a lot of fun.
That's a win.
So we had our huge, it's called our shortstop tournament, I guess, this past weekend. And it's a 2-day tournament, 3-person scramble. Day 2 is like a match play. So you get put in like a 1 through 8 bracket. If there's one, well, I'd like to get a team in with 2 of you guys as well at some point, but it was a lot of fun.
Which 2?
It don't matter. It's just there's some really good golfers that play in it, but it's more just like it's just like a fun tournament. Like, so if you're put in like an 8-person flight, it doesn't matter where you are. Like, if you win your flight, you still win the same amount of money.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, it's just a lot of fun.
I just sorry to interrupt, Mike. I just got to say this. I knew you were super busy at work, and we've had this conversation before, right? And Matt was on the boat all day Saturday, all day Sunday. And so basically it was just Chris and I going back and forth in the group chat, just kind of chatting with each other. Eventually it turned into just me chatting with myself. My Saturday was, I had to get ready for the tournament,
shotgun the people off. So like I had to get them out on the course. I then had to run to campus. We had a men's and women's soccer game on campus because I'm also the sports information director. So I had to stat those 2 games, get back to the course, do all the prizes, announcements, and everything. Then I had to go home. I had to write a men's soccer story, women's soccer story. Volleyball was away. I had to write that story, and cross country, and then I had to upload all the stats and send to NCAA. That was my Saturday. So
sounds miserable.
You got paid for all that, right? Though, I mean, like a 12-hour day.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, it was. No, we're just. I'm honestly. We announced our hockey schedule today on all of our social media stuff, and just really looking forward to hockey. We got a couple of some really good freshmen that are with us right now, and big returning class. We have a big senior class, a huge sophomore class that are hopefully going to take that next step. So got a tough schedule. It's going to be a lot of fun, but that's why that's what we tell those kids when we recruit those kids. It's we're this is the cream of the crop. If you're not playing Division I hockey, like, this is where you want to be in this conference, and who we play against. So looking forward to it.
I got 2 things. I got 2 things for you quick, Mike.
Hit me.
First one, what is the temperature in Ashland that you're rocking a hoodie?
Cold.
It's cold 50s. Already up there?
50s.
Damn, it was 94 today.
Oh, really? Balls.
It's supposed to be 91 at kickoff tomorrow night.
Yeah.
But second thing, and I know you told this, I know I told you guys this, but it just brought me up thinking of you and Ashland and all that stuff. And you guys know this story, but just for our listeners. So I had a student in my strength and conditioning class that had the state of Wisconsin tattooed on her wrist. And here we are in Parker, Colorado. So, of course, I'm obligated. I got to go ask her about it.
Oh, yeah.
She was born in Milwaukee. Her dad is from Wisconsin, diehard Wisconsin guy. And he named all 3 of his daughters after cities in Wisconsin. So then all 3 daughters got a tattoo of the state of Wisconsin on their wrist with a little white dot where all 3 of the cities are located to, so they always kind of know and remember the state and remember each other. So it's Madison, Hudson, and then Ashland. And so I was like, yeah, well, 2 of my good buddies went to school there. One of them still living there and is coaching hockey. And she knew right where it was telling me all about it. And I'm like, and she's never been there. She's never been there, but she knew about it because she was named after it, And so I was just like, it's just small world, Ashland, Wisconsin. What is it? 7,000 people live there.
Oh, we got just almost 9,000. Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Reedsburg-ish.
Reedsburg-ish. Okay.
Yeah.
I just thought that was crazy, and I know I texted you guys right away when that happened because I was just like, small world, but
that's awesome. Well, shall we dive right into Packers here?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's get right into it. Week 1, we have the Saints. A lot of drama, way too much drama this offseason. I don't know. I'm really just excited for football to be back. Honestly, like this is the most exciting time. As a sports fan for me, like this is really what I get into, and we can just kind of see where this takes us tonight. But week 1 matchup, we're going against Jameis Winston and the Saints. I don't know. What do you guys think? What are we thinking for week 1? Do you think we get it done?
Well, what do you guys want to do, like predictions and then like come back to them next week or something? That would mean,
did we do that last fall? I think
that would mean we absolutely have to come back.
We pick our standout on offense and our standout on D.
And I think we did a score though too, didn't we?
We did, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, let's do that again. I'll write it down.
You want to do it right now?
Rosh, who do you got on offense? Who do you got on D? And what do you got for a final score?
Well, first of all, I'm going to give you my synopsis of what I think is going to go down. I do think the Pack's going to win. However, the one thing that makes me a little nervous is Alvin Kamara. I don't know if you guys remember him against us last year, but there was, I think it was last year, maybe it was even the year before. I can't even remember. They all blend together. But there's like that one where he he just caught a little dump off pass. Yeah, he just catches a little dump off pass and he's just zigzagging, and like it looked like an NFL player playing a peewee football team. Like it was just, and so I'm a little worried about him. Now, Jameis Winston, I mean, he's going to throw 3 touchdowns, but he's going to throw 3 or 4 picks too. So I think our defense will do a good enough job to keep the scoring to a minimum because I don't think they have the offensive weapons that they normally do other than Kamara. I think the Packers defense is going to want to make a statement with the new DC in his first game. So I think that'll be good in offense. I mean, offense is basically returning everybody. The only question mark is Bakhtiari, but if I read something correct, I thought they moved Jenkins to left tackle. So that dude's a stud, So like, I'm not too worried about
6 weeks, right?
Yeah, 6 weeks.
6 weeks
minimum.
Right.
So like that's a worry. That's worrisome a little bit, but I mean, I don't know about you guys, but remember last year we were super concerned with our offensive line when we kept having injuries, and I couldn't even name half of them. But sacks were never a thing. Like sacks weren't a big deal last year, So I think LaFleur and Rodgers are going to figure out a good way to maximize who they have on the field, and I think they're going to get it done. I'm going to say Saints got a good defense. They got a good secondary. Decent pass rush. I'm going to go 31-24 Packers, 31-24. My offensive standout player, I'm going with MVS. Okay, I think MVS, from everything I've read, had a great offseason. I think he's going to probably get the usual 3 catches for about 105 yards and a touchdown. It's classic MVS line. And probably a drop or 2 in there as well on that line.
For a tutty.
Defensively, I'm going with my defensive breakout player of the year, and I think it's going to start week 1, and that's going to be Rashawn Gary.
Ooh, yeah, good one.
Okay,
Matt.
Kind of what going off Rosh said. I mean, I think if I heard on the radio this morning correctly, I think this is the first year we're starting 2 rookie offensive linemen, Royce Newman, and then the center's name, I can't think of it right now. Myers. And so we'll see. I mean, obviously Newman beat out Lucas Patrick for that position, so obviously he knows what he's doing. And like Rosh said, I think our defense, that new coordinator is going to want to come in and just show like what he can do and kind of what this defense can do. And I honestly, I mean, some could argue, and I would think it is a legit argument that this team is better than last year's team. You know, we lost maybe 2 or 3 guys that were impact players, but so I'm gonna go. I heard there's a chance for some rain potentially, and it's gonna be hot. I'm gonna go
games in Jacksonville too, right?
Yeah, Jacksonville.
Which I think makes a difference here, right?
Oh yeah. 34-17 Packers.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna double them up. My offensive standout, I'm gonna go Big Bob Tonyan. And my defense, especially with Jameson back there, I'm gonna go Darnell Savage. I think he might have a pick or two in his his sophomore or junior season?
I think it's his junior season.
Junior season, yeah, it's third year. So I think he's going to take a big step. So yeah, we'll see what the weather plays like though.
Mike, you or me?
I'll go.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but we briefly touched on this a little bit in the past too. But for whatever reason, I'm like, I mean, I'm very amped up, but I'm usually even a lot more amped up about the Packers season. I'm not sure if like the Rodgers drama and like everything else just kind of, brought it down.
I think that would change though. Like first snap, once they start, you're gonna be
yeah, no, for sure. And like I'm really jacked up for tomorrow night. It's Dallas versus Tampa tomorrow night. But no, this isn't going to be close. This game's not going to be close at all. Like they have Jameis Winston as their QB. So I'm predicting like a 42-10 Packers.
Wow.
Win. It's going to be ugly. So, but I'm going to go Tonyan for
same guy.
We got to mix up the order next time. I'll try to remember.
I'm going to go Randall. My second one was Randall Cobb then.
Okay.
Randall Cobb will get 1, possibly 2 touchdowns.
Oh, okay.
For week 1. And then you guys are going to hate this for my defense.
Oh, my God.
We already know it. Just write down Kevin King. Kevin King.
He had a great interview, which I sent to you guys.
But what does an interview have to do with play?
Hey, the game has been brewing with him all offseason.
All right.
Kevin King is going to ball out on Sunday.
It ain't just a game. It's been the last 4 seasons have been brewing in that dude's head.
When he's healthy.
Yeah, I was going to say, we'll see if he pops up on the injury report here in the next 2 days.
You guys keep chirping. Watch. Kevin King, Randall Cobb. Take that to the bank, 42-10.
Take that to the bank.
Well, it's not going to be Kevin King, okay? Because it's going to be Eric Stokes. The guy is going to get a pick in his first professional game. So that's obviously my defense player. I do think that Packers are going to score a boatload of points, but I mean, Jameis can throw the ball. Whether it's accurate or not, the guy tosses the ball a lot.
They're going to throw it 57 times.
I'll go. I'm going to go 42-30. 42-30.
Okay.
It's kind of an abnormal score, but
you might be I might be the only one that follows us on Twitter. Do you guys follow Scorigami?
Yeah, that might be a Scorigami.
Yeah, that's got to be a Scorigami.
I don't know what that means.
So a Scorigami is there's literally a Twitter account that will say the score is like 52-15. If that score, that would be like a Scorigami if it never happened before in an NFL game.
Got it.
But I feel like that may have happened.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, I was just thinking 3 touchdowns and 3 field goals. So,
yeah.
Anyway, offense. I mean, since you guys didn't pick him, I'm going to go with Aaron Jones, and we're going to go Devontae-less through our picks this week 1. But I think Aaron Jones, fresh off that contract, he's not letting off the gas pedal. 150 and a touchdown.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll kind of see what is that 12 o'clock or 3 o'clock?
3:30
3:30. So we
3:30.
may, I mean, maybe Sunday night we can
after the game.
hop
Quick.
back on and yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, we'll do it for sure.
Okay.
All right. Well, September means that MLB playoffs are right around the corner. We got Brewers on our minds to talk about right now. I will tell you guys that I have been watching some Brewers baseball. Finally.
Wow.
They are that grand slam home run the other day was
Nuts.
Unreal.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys saw this too. But Bob Uecker, did you guys listen to like the Bob Uecker like thing to go along with the video?
Yeah.
That was his call.
He was going nuts. It was awesome. But I don't know what I think we got a shot. I'll just leave it at that. What do you guys think?
I mean, yeah, the way we're playing, I mean, it honestly feels like, we kind of are like a couple games we might go through go coasting a little bit, but then you look at it, and last week we take 3 out of 4 from the Giants and we just dominate them, and then I think it's big that Lauer's starting to do well. Corbin's doing well. Woody's kind of doing hit or miss here.
Corbin Burns is sick.
Yeah,
he's unreal.
Yeah, he's dominating. It will be really interesting to see who Council kind of rolls out there game 1. Whoever we end up playing, that'll be a tough decision. But quick question for you guys: 1, will we get to 100 wins?
Yes.
2, okay, so Mike says yes. 2, will we beat the franchise record at 96? There's 22 games left. They have 85 wins. So they have to go 15 and what?
7
to get to 100, or 11 and 11.
I think they get 99 wins.
Ooh.
What's on? Okay, I'm gonna check their schedule real quick here.
So
it's a tough schedule.
Is it okay?
We're looking at it.
Their last 5 games are 3-game series against the last 6 games are 3 against the Cards, 3 against the Dodgers. But then the rest of the games coming up are actually not too bad. We play a series against the Indians, the Tigers, and the Cubs.
Guardians, you mean Guardians?
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, that's true. Yep, the Guardians. I forgot about that.
Yeah, so why don't you watch your mouth? But no, I mean, I agree. I think they break the record easy. I don't know about 100, but they're winning right now. I mean, I think you'd have to start Burns at this point if I mean, you don't want to. You want to. You don't. I don't know. You just start. I don't know. You roll your best 3 out in order, right? I don't think you overthink it.
No.
And Burns. They probably just give Woodruff the second just because he's been there,
Dude, Burns is unreal.
Yeah.
So here's another question. So in past years, Council probably should have gotten Manager of the Year, which I don't think he did. Did he?
No, I don't think he did, but he should have.
He obviously won't. No, I guarantee the Giants will.
You're right.
So
yeah,
I guess why is that? Why hasn't he gotten the last 3 or 4 seasons?
Well, who are the people that got it last couple seasons?
I couldn't even tell you.
I could look it up, but I'm just not gonna. But I mean, it's Milwaukee, man. Like there's that.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
NL Don Mattingly, Marlins.
With the Marlins
last year,
2020. Mike Schlitt, St. Louis Cardinals. Brian Snitker, Atlanta Braves. Torey Lovolo, Arizona Diamondbacks.
All those
Dave
guys
Roberts,
suck.
Cubs. John Madden when they won it with the Cubs, 2015.
Okay. All right, yeah. The other 2 things I'll say is Dan Vogelbach. I mean, just a non-contributor because he's been hurt.
Yeah.
2 months now. Comes in, hits that monster shot, and it almost gives you the feel like, man, there's just something about this, right?
Yeah.
He's not even. He's just not even really even going to be a contributor. I mean, off the bench he will be, but
Do you guys think that there's even like another gear with the Brewers too that we're just not seeing yet?
I think so. I think so.
I mean, Eduardo Escobar has been tearing it up. Yelich is hitting over 300, which we talked about in a prior episode.
We did.
Once he gets hot, watch out, and he's hot.
I really think it's Brewers Dodgers in the NLCS. Well, depending on how the seeding goes, which I guess it could happen. They would meet round one, but I really think it's I mean, with that pitching staff they have, with the pitching staff we have, that's going to be a deadly matchup. I think.
Then it comes down to, well, how many games did it take you to win the previous series, and then where are you at in your rotation versus where they're at in their rotation?
You don't think the Dodgers are going to pass the Giants?
I think they have.
Not yet. 1.5 out.
The Dodgers are? Oh, I thought they were in first.
No.
Yeah, and Giants.
I don't know.
Ross, what do you think here?
I think the Brewers are going to finish strong. I think they're going to be in a good position. I mean, when we think about this year, going into the year, I think almost all of us said pitching staff was going to be the weak point.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Pitching staff was the strong point the whole season. We won 70 games, and Yelich in those 70 games was batting .205.
Oh yeah.
As a MVP 2 years ago. So it was only a matter of time until those dudes. And I think Stearns, right? Is that the GM?
Yeah. Yep.
He made some very, very good moves without giving up a ton in return. Now they're rental players, but if you win it all, who gives?
Nobody
Right?
cares.
No one cares. So I thought he did. Had some really good moves. I think they're in a position to do well. My only cautiousness, I guess, or however you want to say it, is it's just tough when you look at the Dodgers on paper.
Yeah.
Like you watch now that they have Scherzer, and you're watching him freaking strike out 13 Cardinals, and you're like, because the Cardinals aren't a bad baseball team, they got some star power, and he's just fanning them, just making them look silly, and you're like, all right. And then you see that he's 7-1 with like a 1.1 ERA since joining the Dodgers, and you're like, oh, that's to go with the staff that they already had. Like they already had a studly staff.
Our boy Walker Buehler, who talked crap about the Brewers. What was that, last year?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
2 years ago, wasn't it?
So like that part's hard, because when you have 5 legit aces, it gives you so much more flexibility that, like, let's say you're in game 4 and it's a must win, and they're pounding around your number 4, you could bring your number 5 in, and he could pitch the next 7 innings and finish out the game. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different game.
Because you know you're going with the number 1 in game 5 anyways. You're going to go roll back. So the flexibility allows those dudes. I think that if those pitchers stay healthy for the Dodgers, because they were without Bellinger for a while. They've been without some of their star power, so they struggled in the middle of the season there. But they're starting to turn it on. To me, they're the biggest threat from stopping us. I think if we make it to the World Series, I think we have a really good chance of winning it. I think getting to the World Series that's the hardest.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think the hardest will be getting it through the NL. I think once we get to the World Series, me personally, just my opinion, I think we'll be I'll be feeling super excited, not just because we're there, but I think we have a really, really good chance of beating those AL teams. I
got just real quick before we move on to the next subject here, but so I've been diving into the stats here with MLB. So run differential this is just NL. Brewers are third. We're at plus 116. San Francisco is second, plus 157. The Dodgers are first, plus 224 run differential. Think about that.
And this is without, and they don't even have Trevor Bauer. I mean, he's dealing with his crap. And so you add him to the mix.
Plus 224. It's crazy.
Yeah, they're good. And that's why I think if we end up getting the 2 seed, I honestly think the Dodgers or the Giants, whoever doesn't win that division, will play, let's say, Cincinnati or the Padres. That will be a good game. I think the Dodgers or the Giants will win that game. And then you have the Dodgers-Giants And what, a 5-game set, I think? 5 game?
And
Yeah.
then we'd go
So-
against the Braves.
The Braves or the
Probably,
Phillies.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
the Braves.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And what's interesting too with the Dodgers, they're one of their best players, Bellinger's batting 160 something.
Oh,
So
I did
they're
not
kind
know
of in
that.
the same boat with that too. Like they're not even reached their peak probably either.
Yeah.
Stupid. All right, moving
So,
on here.
yeah.
Kind of final last couple topics maybe here. We'll see how we're doing on time, but I didn't get a chance to watch it, fellas. Matt, you were giving all of us, or you and Jeremy were giving us a play-by-play. I was briefly looking at my phones in between work, but Wisconsin football, we took the L. Had a chance late to score a touchdown. It's first and goal from was it 2-yard line, 1-yard line?
Yeah.
Didn't happen. I guess I'd like you guys to touch on that game if you could, and then are we counting? A lot of hype went into Mertz.
A ton. The most
Yeah.
I've ever remembered
I mean-
of a Wisconsin quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe any player we've ever had. That's a
Yeah.
bold fair
Yeah.
statement, I think. Are you guys ready to count him out yet?
I'm not.
Well,
Go ahead,
Matt.
Raj.
No, you go.
I'm not, but I mean, I had high expectations. Maybe not high expectations, but I wanted to see at least some growth. That we could be like, okay, last year was hard, COVID, all that stuff. I wanted to see something else. The thing that bothered me was, I think it was like the first drive of the game, he gets sacked, and then the whole time after that, it looked like he had happy feet in the pocket. It looked like he was scared. None of his throws were really super accurate. And so I think, and what I didn't know this, which maybe you guys did, in high school, he actually was never under center. They just ran an offense where he was in shotgun the whole time. And now I was listening to a guy that said, it seems like he is scared to turn his back on the defense, but it's like, Wisconsin's offense, what they're going to do, I'm not out of him yet. Ask me in like 2 or 3 games, that same question might be a different answer though.
I'm gonna start this with having to tell you guys a little story. So I was actually watching the game at a fellow teacher and coach's house out here because I got invited into the teacher fantasy football league at my high school, which is a big deal because they've had like this same little clique for like 10 years since the school opened. And one of the teachers left, and so I got asked to be in it. So it was super cool because we met at the house. We had the big draft board, all this. Well,
Yeah.
We come from a variety of backgrounds. Like there's a couple guys from Nebraska. There was one from Iowa there, a couple from Colorado. But they all know I'm diehard Wisconsin. Like I talk about it all the time to the point that they rip on me by calling it Minnesota East. That's what they call Wisconsin. Oh yeah, they like to get under my skin a little bit.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah, well, if people say it all the time to you, it'll start to tick you off,
yeah.
and then they're accomplishing their mission,
They
right?
say what? Wrigley North for Miller Park?
Yeah. Ham fam.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
so I'm watching that game at this house with all these dudes,
God, I hate that.
and it comes down to that last drive, and it doesn't happen. And I'm sitting there like sulking, and these dudes are just laughing and ha ha ha, and I'm like, oh, this is great, but. I only got to watch. I was actually at our JV football game in the morning, so I only got to watch the second half. But from what I saw, and you guys know this, and I'll admit it right here on the air, I was wrong on Mertz. I was wrong. When we were recruiting him, I was so jacked, right? We're getting a 4-star quarterback. We've never had a 4-star quarterback. Like this dude's chucking it all over the yard in high school. He's throwing for yards upon yards. Tons of touchdowns. He's got charisma. Like this is the dude. And then he starts off strong last year, right? He had a really
That's
good
the worst
first game.
thing. The worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah, he has a really good first game, and then reality kind of sunk in the rest of that season. But just like you, Matt, I'm like, all right, year 2, he's a sophomore, redshirt sophomore, technically a junior. Yeah. He's been in this offense now for 3 years, counting his redshirt year. He knows what he's doing. He's got his weapons all back from last year. He's got the only one is the running back, right? But he's got stud running backs there to fill the void. But he's got running backs there to fill the void. That dude from Clemson's a stud.
Yeah, big time.
And so I'm like, you know what? He's gonna take a step forward. And then I watched that second half, and I'm like, I'm trying to understand. Like it looks like a high school all-star game where they practice for like a week before the game, and then are expecting there to be chemistry and stuff. Like his throws were off, his timing was off. He didn't look comfortable in the pocket. Like just stuff I wasn't expecting from a third-year quarterback. You know, now he redshirted his first year, but still he had that experience and stuff. And I'm not calling it quits yet, but I am literally like on the fence, teetering to falling off the fence. So if this next game, and I forget who we played, School of the Blind or something this week. So he'll probably look like an all-star this week. School of the Blind. So he's probably going to look amazing this week, but honestly, hopefully he does, because I want the Badgers to win. I want to be wrong, but my hopes are low right now, which sucks because I was super excited about it.
Same here.
Jay Green, you got anything else to add there before I got a question for you guys?
Not a ton, other than like, at what point does the hype is the hype enough? Like, you know, like start giving me some results. Start giving me what you came here to do, brought you here to do, what we let. And my biggest thing this weekend was what we let Jake Cohn go for you.
I'm just going to talk about this.
That's what you were just going to say. Okay.
Yeah.
Absurd numbers. He looked great. Commentators were all over. Like, you know, he looked like what he was, a comfortable senior in the pocket, you know, that sort of thing. I mean, am I frustrated with it? Yeah. I'm as close as it gets to being like, okay, you play the School of the Blind, as Rosh says, you know, this weekend, tear it up, or
you
better. You got like one chance here with me. Like I don't like, you know, it's the same thing that the conversations that we have about coaches, you know, like the conversation that I get into with you, Mike, about Granato, good hockey coach, good hockey mind, good hockey family, right? Recruits very well, Ozeki, right? Ozeki, just really good in that aspect, but has he won the big game?
Results are truly what matter. It's results.
That is.
You know?
So anyway, that's all I'll say.
Yeah, and kind of going off that, and I guess it might be a little just curious on your thoughts on this. First of all, shout out Jack Nelson. Got to coach him for a couple of years. He got the start at right guard for the Badgers as a redshirt freshman.
And I think
he's coming on at some point. So.
If I'm not mistaken, I think him and the younger guy actually graded higher than the three seniors. If I remember reading it right,
dude, he's like. I'll show you guys a picture of him. I think he's like 6'7", 305 right now. Dude, he's
350. I thought that's
he's not. No, he's not.
No, I think it was 305.
He's like 305, but this dude doesn't like his body fat has to be like 12 to 15%. Like he broad jumps 10 feet. Like he cleans. Like he doesn't have fat on him. He is just a big, strong athlete, and he's tough. He's mean. He plays mean, and so I'm super excited for him. Brady Shipper from Stoughton still on the team. Jordan DiBenedetto is still on the team from Stoughton, so they got 3 Stoughton dudes on there. And then Jack's younger brother Barrett, who's a senior at Stoughton, he's going to the Badgers next year. So shout out there. But yeah, he's a lineman. He's a big boy too. I think right now he's like 6'6", 270. Yeah, big fan. Dad played O-line for the Badgers. Yeah. I think he even was like the center or guard when Chris was the quarterback. And then mom is a strong athletic woman she's like 6'1". So like these kids were destined to be ginormous. But it's a great family. They're hardworking. The Nelson family's awesome. But my question is, do you think, and I'm just spitballing here, do you think that NIL stuff has any factor in these college kids' performance? Because like they're trying to make money off their likeness, right? Do you think that overshadows maybe their on the field performances because their mind is so on like, oh, I'm making money. Oh, I got to do this interview. Oh, I got to do this thing instead of, oh, I got to go watch film. Oh, I need to study. Oh, I need to get sleep. Like, I'm just curious what your guys' thoughts are on that whole thing.
I think it does 100%, and I think you even have this with like the Alabamas, the Clemsons, like those schools like that as well. I think this does. I think it happens, or it's kind of the same situation with every school. As far as like the Badgers, I can't really tell if I don't really follow. Besides Mertz, I think I follow him on Instagram, but other than that, like I know he's like posting some stuff, and with
well, that's what brought it up is that stuff affecting his performance or preparation. I don't know.
I think it could also add pressure because, like, let's be real, if you're trying to do that, you gotta play good, to get it, And so I mean that could definitely be adding the pressure, and then his mind is not through that instead of actually, film or workouts, all that stuff. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Just a thought, because I know that's new this year, so I don't know, if that's a factor or not. But just thought I'd throw it out there.
Well, let's see what the Badgers can do. We got Eastern Michigan. It doesn't get any easier after this. Then we got Notre Dame, Michigan, Illinois.
I didn't even think about that.
We play Army this year, which is kind of
cool.
I know. I wanted to go to that game because I think it'd be sweet to watch one of the military academies.
Notre Dame at Soldier Field because we were supposed to play at Lambeau last year.
Yeah,
should be good.
Battle of the two quarterbacks.
Come on.
Well, he just took because he was at Florida State, right?
No, that was Hornibrook.
That was Hornibrook.
Yeah. I couldn't remember what quarterback it was that left here. Then
Cone just left this last spring.
Yeah, Hornibrook.
You're
Cone
right.
left on good terms.
Yeah.
You're right. All right. Final topic here. We got some Reedsburg sports updates. I know we lost for football week 1. I apologize. I haven't been watching how football's been doing. Any updates for you guys? Jay Green, do you got a Reedsburg sports update for us?
Yeah, I mean, I know football. I mean, I think they're 0-3. I think.
Oh.
Yeah. I think they lost to Fort Atkinson, Watertown.
Who was that team that I texted you? I couldn't believe that was their mascot. Was that Edgerton?
Yeah,
that was Watertown or Evansville or something.
Evansville, that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they lost. It sounds like they've been close games though. I mean, they're there.
34-33 to Evansville, 27-7 to Watertown, 20-6 to Fort Atkinson.
Okay. Yeah. So I know soccer got their first win in like over a year. Beat Columbus in Boston, and they lost they're 2-3. So shout out to those guys. I helped them out last fall, but just didn't have the time commitment this year. I don't know about volleyball.
I was going to say, I feel like I heard they might be pretty good this year. I could be definitely wrong on that.
The triangular this weekend, I think that they beat Baraboo, they beat Portage.
Okay.
I think, and then I think maybe Sauk was there too. But I mean, keep grinding, guys. I'm excited that all the student athletes get to play, this fall. So
sorry, go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was just gonna say, I hate to say this on the Burg Boys. I'm probably gonna get kicked out of the podcast here for saying this, but I just feel obligated. Baraboo's ranked number 1 in the state right now.
What? In football?
In D3 football.
They just pounded somebody. Monona Grove. Yeah, they killed them.
They're ranked number 1 in the state, and they go up against Stoughton this Friday. And Stoughton was ranked.
Steamrolls them.
Stoughton was ranked, but then they just lost to Portage, which was kind of a shock for Stoughton. But they're going to be looking to rebound. But yeah, when I saw that, I was like, I got to tell you guys, and then I just never remember to text the group, and now it just popped in my head right now. But.
So I'll say I got 2 things. One, their quarterback Luna Larson is just unreal athlete, really good hockey player as well. I think he's been recruited by the Badgers.
Yeah, I think he's a linebacker too. I think he plays on both sides of the ball.
I think so.
He's been recruited by Wisconsin football.
Yeah.
He's been started on varsity, I think, since his freshman year for football.
Yeah, he's been
Is he a senior?
Yeah, he's senior this year. Pretty good kid too. I've never had a conversation with him, but in terms of what Neil says, and whatnot. But always respectful on the ice. Really good hockey player. Could have gone played hockey somewhere too, but. And then the other part is, okay, you're number one. Well, guess what? I mean, all the pressure's on you.
Oh yeah.
Like
big time.
You lose. It's not because people didn't think, you got the ranking. You need to show. Now you need to show it. So I mean, it sounds like they have been. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And our ice is in the Dells, Jeremy. I saw a couple RWD captains practices are underway right now.
Yeah.
When does the season start up for you guys?
So I got a quick question for you guys. The season starts week before. Well, practice will start like second week in November, and we'll do 2-a-days, and I'll run the mornings where there's no nets, no pucks, no.
Her Burke style, baby.
Yeah,
her Burke style.
Yeah.
Legs,
so if any of the
players call you Captain Blood,
any of the players listening, no sticks. So, and actually I probably can't talk. I won't talk about it right now, but so let's say kind of like Big Ten, right? Like when Wisconsin's out, do you guys cheer? You guys want Big Ten to win, right?
Yeah,
usually,
usually that's a decent question, right? You see where I'm going?
I would say it depends on the school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like in football, I ain't cheering for PJ Fleck. I can tell you that right now. I hate that dude.
We know.
His boat is sinking. He ain't rowing anything right now. But no, Jay Green, I hear what you're saying. So are you alluding to football with the bad with?
Well, I mean, I wish them well, right? But at the end of the day, I don't want anything bad to happen. But at the end of the day, they're still our rivals. But
correct. I hear what you're saying.
But
I hear what you're saying. Yeah. That's a tough one.
What are you guys thinking? I know I kind of just threw this at you guys, and it's tough. It's tough for me too.
Not a chance.
I don't think
I would say if Baraboo were to win state, I wouldn't be like excited. But I wouldn't be like mad or anything because we won state more recently than they did.
That's true,
right, Matty Ice. So we've been more successful for longer in the last 10 to 15 years. So like they could have their one season where you go to state and win it. I'd be like, oh, that's cool for them, whatever. But at the same time, like I'm not going to cheer for them. I ain't gonna cheer for Baraboo, I could tell you that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I ain't cheering for Baraboo.
I'm cheering for him, but I'm not gonna be upset, I guess, if they win. I guess.
And that's not what I mean. I wasn't gonna cheer for them, but I think there's kind of something cool about like a team like that. Any team.
I mean, I think it definitely
never won a state championship wins it. That's pretty cool, right?
Like that year we won it, Wanakee won it too, and that just showed like, hey, the Badger North is pretty damn good.
Good point.
So I mean, I don't know. I see. That's hard.
I couldn't cheer for him, but
no.
I wouldn't be upset. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
No, that's fair.
Before we head off here, I have one last question, Chris. I think you posted this on some of your social media stuff, but where your games are at?
Oh my God!
It just looks like it's the most electrifying.
You know what it reminds me of
ever, and is okay. I know when you played at Whitewater, like they're insane there. Like absolutely, they are insane at Whitewater Stadium or whatever it's called.
Perkins Stadium.
Perkins Stadium. I know that you guys get a lot of fans, or you did get a lot of fans. I'm guessing they still get a shitload of fans at Whitewater. But is that not just like? I mean, when we played, like Reedsburg, like
we packed the stands. We
did.
But they ain't big stand. I mean, they're
no. I mean, you had the other side where it's like 4 little bleachers, for the away teams.
And honestly, that picture that Rochelle sent. Do you guys remember the show 2-a-days, Hoover High?
Yeah,
that's what it reminds me of. a little bit.
So-
I was like, whoa.
I guess, Chris, like as a coach, like, are you like when you're coaching in front of that, like, are you extra jacked up for this?
Oh yeah, of course. Like especially with last year, we only were allowed 500 fans. So like going from 500 fans to I think we had right around 7,000 at our last game. You know, and it was a rivalry game. We're probably not going to hit that number again this year. It was a rivalry game.
That's the size of Ashland, too.
It's the first game back after COVID. It's a rivalry game. There's no restrictions. So like, I mean, it was packed, but once the game starts, I really didn't notice it. You could hear it, obviously. It's not like you can ignore the sound. Right? That place got loud, and then you're hearing our student section just get after their student, and you can just hear that back and forth. So, like, it's a very, very awesome football environment. And I didn't notice how many fans were in the stands because, like, we're on the home side, so my back is to the grandstands. I could see the visitor side. The visitor side was full. The visitor side bleachers, just to kind of give you an equivalent, are, I would say, a little bit bigger than the home stands at Millennium Field is what the visitor side is. It's probably like 2 rows higher and a little wider. And that was full. And so like seeing that and seeing the whole student section take up like half of it, and they were all doing like a whiteout, and then our student section was doing like a blackout, you know. And then I turned around at one point, I think it was like during halftime or something, when I ran back out of the locker room and I looked up and I was like, wow, that's a lot of people.
Well, because, like,
but it was unreal.
Like, Matt, you obviously played at Camp Randall, which was, you know, there was obviously a fair amount of people there as well. But like, yeah, it's a funny comment there by cousin Jason. But like, I mean, like, to put this in perspective, like when you played Division III football, like, you know, there's really not that many places that you probably played at that even had close to that amount of people. Like when you were playing, like, you know, in college, I obviously Whitewater, I'm sure they get probably close to that amount, or I'm not even sure how many they get at Whitewater, but like, you can't think like Platteville gets many fans at their football games or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, so a lot of the stadiums, the stadium we play in out here, I would say was bigger than over 50% of the college stadiums we played in. Whitewater, we averaged around 8,000 to 9,000 a game. When I was there, the record since has been broken, but we broke the record for attendance at a D3 football game. I think it was Stevens Point that came to town, and I think we had just over 12,000. And that was the entire grandstands. That was people standing all the way around. That was the entire visitor section. Like, people were literally standing all around, and then there was rows of people standing behind the people standing. Like, it was unbelievable. But I think it's been broken since then. But yeah, we would average right around 8 or 9. There's still right now Whitewater's ranked 4th, so I'm assuming they're still going to get a good amount of fans, especially since Whitewater didn't have a season at all last year. Mm-hmm. So I think the fans are going to be jacked up. Student body is going to be jacked up to go to games. So I'm assuming they'll do well. But there were some games, you know, like we went to Campbellsville, Kentucky to play a game. And so, like, our fans traveled well because we had parents and stuff. But, you know, we probably had 300 fans from Whitewater, and Campbellsville maybe had 500. You know, there maybe was 1,000 people at that game. You know, and then all of a sudden you go and you coach high school and there's 7,000 fans and you're like, wow. You know, but that's the one cool thing about having these district stadiums is, like, we have a nice big stadium, and it's pretty sweet. But coaching's a little different than playing in that environment. Playing, I used it to kind of hype myself up, get focused, whatever. Coaching, it's cool. Like, you definitely feel it. But then once the game starts, like, you know, I got to make sure guys are where they need to be, personnel. I got to make sure guys stay focused. I got to make sure they don't go on that emotional roller coaster and all that stuff. So then I kind of forget about the fans until like halftime when I'm running out again. And I'm like, all right, yeah, there's a lot of people here. You know, hopefully I don't got anything on the back of my khakis or anything. But, you know, it's a fun environment for sure. But we won't get close to that number the rest of the season just because of our opponents and games, and that just was, there's 70,000 people maybe that live in Parker. I could be off on that, but there's 4 high schools, and this was 2 of the high schools in Parker, week 1 on a Friday night meeting up, and so there's just tons of people that were excited to watch some football.
All right. Well, best of luck this week or tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, yep.
Hopefully the boys get back on track. Big weekend here. I'll be my first off weekend pretty much in a long time. So
what are you gonna do?
Well, you picked the right one. Opening of NFL weekend. That's a good choice.
Got a little golf planned for Saturday.
Little golf.
And Sunday it's just gonna be. I'm not leaving my couch. Oh, last thing. Do you guys have? I'm looking at getting an NFL Red Zone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Game changer.
Should I get it 100%?
Yeah, 100%.
Alexis and I we just switched to YouTube TV because our direct TV was like $120 a month or something, and YouTube TV it's like $55 plus $10 for a sports package, so it's $65 a month, and Red Zone's in that sports package and the Big Ten Network. Ten Network, so I'll be able to watch Big Ten out here. But yeah, Red Zone's a game changer.
Yeah,
big time.
Hey, Rush, is it Lifetime on YouTube?
I'll have to look. You like those Hallmark videos or movies or what?
When my mom comes over, she likes to watch the Lifetime.
Well, so
I thought you were talking about
the one thing that's cool about YouTube too is they do like the like you can have multiple people on one account. Okay. The only thing I don't know is since I'm the base account, I don't know if you guys would get like my Denver channels or would you get your local channels. That's the one thing I don't know how that works, but I could do some digging. But Justin Backenberg told me, and YouTube TV does a 14-day free trial.
Hey, Reedsburg, Burg Boys alum.
Yep. But but Red Zones, you got to get it. You got to get it. And before I forget, Jay Green, Cash Money's got his first day of soccer on Sunday.
He does. Let's go. I know that. I know that Mike's son just got the championship, right?
Yep, just finished up, right? This last weekend.
Had the hat trick in the championship game.
Henry. He had fun. I would say that it's when they're that little, it's interesting. They're just running around. But,
you got pictures, man, that are gonna last the rest of your life. Yeah. And
he liked it. But yeah, we got hockey coming up, which he literally talks about 24/7. So we got hockey coming up here middle of October. So we're we gotta get cash into some puck this year, Chris.
Yep, he's going to.
Good.
He gets to start football in the spring too, so I'm pretty jacked about that.
Awesome. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this week. Also, really quick shout out to our Packer ticket winner. I can't remember when our last episode was. Krista Clem. She posted a picture. We reposted it. Thanks for everybody that kind of got into our contest. It looked like she actually, with her husband Ken, they spent their anniversary weekend together.
What a perfect winner for that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm sure we'll have some different contests coming up. We're ready to amp it up here. So we're We had a little bit of a break, a few hiccups over the last couple months here, but we're back. The Burg Boys are back, and we're ready to rock. So everybody, thanks for tuning in, and we're playing on Sunday. We'll hopefully see you guys Sunday evening. Go Pack, go!
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys. Go Pack.